I represent Indian Angel Network. It is India's first, Asia's largest angel investor group. We have almost 350 investors from 10 countries. We've invested in almost 80 companies, 100, and they're growing very, very well. Our investments are giving huge returns to our investors. For example, we've given 18 times return in 21 months, 6 times in about 15 months, so tracking very well. We predominantly invest in very early stage startup companies. We help them with mentoring and help them strategize their business plans and build very, very robust companies. And then we provide, because our investors are the who's who of Indian industry, or specifically entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs. So we leverage our global network and give them market access. So we have really created global footprint companies, and we therefore provide money mentoring and market access. So the idea was twofold. One is the fact that about 6-7 years ago when we started, a lot of the investors, or I should say successful entrepreneurs who had created some wealth for themselves, were getting business plans from young startups, and each one was getting 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So the idea was to pool all of them and see which ones to pick and help, right, instead of distributing money over 20 of them. So that was the basic concept where it started, and then we sort of did research and saw that such concepts called angel groups did operate in the West, in UK, in US, all over, and therefore we thought that's a good model to bring here. Having said that, the basic model we did bring here, but we tried the classic mistake that most startups do. We also made the mistake. We did a cut and paste model, and we realized that in India it didn't work. Okay. So we had to make a lot of changes. But those changes were very aligned to what was required here, how we operated here, what was the thinking here, and all of that. And now I think we have IEN, which is a very robust, institutionalized angel group, able to leverage money from 10 countries, 350 investors. So when we bring a deal on the table for investment raise, we raise the money in 30 minutes. So 3 crores, 4 crores, 5 crores, 6 crores is fast. Let me make one point very clear. We look at the numbers last. Okay. So what we look at is 3 things. What is the proposition? Is there a good uniqueness? Is there a differentiator? Number 1. Number 2, we look at what is the market or the customer that they are catering to. Is there a need in the market for that? Is there a pain point that the targeted customer is going through which this product can help alleviate? Number 3, is it a fast growing market? Okay. Number 4, what's the competition that exists? And then number 5, which I think is extremely important, which I also mentioned somewhere else, is that the team. How good is the team to be able to execute on that idea? So I think honestly, this is I think India is a huge country, 1.2 billion, we're 1/6 of the population of the world. Retail caters to everybody's needs in some form or format. So it's a huge growing space, number 1. Number 2 is our domestic market growth has created huge disposable incomes, and that need and that market has therefore penetrated further in the country. Number 3 is that what e-commerce has done has exposed a lot of people to goods and products and services which only perhaps first tier cities were looking at. Now there is an aspiration and a need built in second, third tier cities. And that's the growth and the penetration that is an opportunity. I think it's a great way to scale up, honestly. Franchising is a great way to scale up. I'll give you a simple example. So there's a company called Wow Momo, which is into momos, right? And it is an offline, it's not an online. Their only thing is their digital presence is there. But they can't be all over the place on their own, all across all the cities on their own. They'll never be able to execute quickly. So the franchising model works perfectly there. So they can, create the standards, they can create the operating processes, they can create all the SOPs and then roll it out through partners. And that also creates more entrepreneurs. The franchisees become entrepreneurs as well, which is brilliant. I think this is a very, very good event. I am very happy to be here. I mean, every time Ritu and Gaurav sort of invite me, I'm here because I really think they're doing a brilliant job. I think more importantly, we had very good questions coming out of the audience when I was on the panel. I think the topics chosen were very, very perfect. That was very relevant to the current ecosystem that's happening. And I do hope that the audience also enjoyed and garnered some insights, which we did try to share.